have a Detroit Tiger, and I'm liking what I'm seeing since the call up, and that's Riley Green. It is just a great young talent, and you mentioned the potential of a 2020 player with solid OBP skills. I think so. I think that's what you've got is a total package. He can play the outfield and demonstrates a complete and total hit tool.
Can't add anything, Timmy, except in one of the funniest movies in a long time, Meet the Fockers.
Yes.
So
it's a classic with the
classic.
Hand, right?
No. So there's a great line in there that says, "I'm a looking and I'm a liking." So that's what Tim is doing. He's a looking and he's a liking. I mean, look, I always liked him. Had his higher fantasy projection higher than Spencer Torkelson. Still been dead wrong about Torkelson. I can't explain how I was so wrong about him, at least this year. Riley Green is just going to be a terrific baseball player, and there's 2020 upside. If you tell me he's in 2 years he's a second round pick, I wouldn't be at all surprised. You tell me he's a first round pick in 3 years, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, our game is changing so quickly, and with the changes, as you mentioned earlier in the CBA, we're starting to see these kids sooner, and we're seeing a lot more of them. It's going to mean a lot of work for you because the deck is going to be shuffled on a regular basis and quite often moving forward, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's hard because you put some of these guys in the top 100, and you go, that's not really a top 100 guy. Then you realize that they are because of process of elimination and just attrition. They become. We talked about that in the beginning, and that's just the way it is. So,
well, you take a look at your top 10. Okay, 2 months from now, Riley Green, Adley Rutschman, probably Abrams. That's 3. Boz is 4. Moreno is 5. 5 of your top 10 are not going to be on.
So that's right.
The
so
list
you got Corbin Carroll, Jordan Walker, Volpe, Grayson Rodriguez, Gunnar Henderson. Those are your top 5.
Yeah, and it's not going to take very long for that change to occur, is it?
Yep. And at this point, there's to throw out Grayson Rodriguez because he's a pitcher. I don't know who I don't think I put Jordan Walker 1, but you can definitely make the argument that Volpe could be 1. I mean, with his upside and the fact that he's playing for a winning organization like that, you could definitely make that argument. You can make the argument for Gunnar Henderson. Right, and how well the Orioles are developing players, and the fact that he's walking as much as he's striking out. You can make the argument for Corbin. There's an argument for all of those guys being the best prospect in the game.
Okay, as we wrap this thing up, can we look at some of the players that didn't make the list? 101 to 110. Is there anybody in there that you want to mention?
There are, but let's hold that till Sunday, Timmy, because we've gone an hour and a half. And I've got some things I need to do. So so if we can, I actually have that list here.
Oh, okay, cool.
But so that'll give us a little bit of stuff to talk about on Sunday. But if that works for you, you're the host today. But that's what your guest is telling you.
Okay,
without your guest,
time to shut up.
That's without your guest, you don't have a show, Mr. Host. So.
Yes. I'm weighing the pros and cons very quickly in my mind here. And as always, Rich, I want to thank you for the opportunity to interview you on these prospects. A great list, well thought through, and again, I'm sure our listeners are just getting a ton of value out of it. Again, thank you very much. It's been fun.
I appreciate that, Tim. I just want to close with the following. It's just a general, because I do these lists multiple times a year. Tim does his list. Do not get hung up on the absolute positioning of a player. The fact that they're all top 100 prospects and there's this many players in the minor leagues, I like all of these guys. If you see a guy at 7 and you think he should be at 21, you see a guy at 28 that you think should be at 14, fine. You're probably right. It's just where I put them, Timmy. There's no absolute science on this. So please, I implore you, don't get hung up on the absolute position. Now, if I have a guy at 95 and you think they should be 10, let's talk, right? But not off by 10 or 15 slots.
Yeah, I would never get into an argument with anybody as to whether Anthony Volpe at 7 is better than Jordan Walker at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's your list, and you have formulated that list. That it's not carved in stone, is it?
And you could make that argument with Volpe better than Walker or Gunnar, and I would go, yeah, I can see that. This is how I ordered them. Maybe tomorrow I would order them slightly different. They're all really high-end guys that could be impact players. So then when you say, well, gee, would you trade Gunnar Henderson for Volpe? I don't know. I probably not, because I would just I'm going to go with the guy that I'm going with, and not try to get too cute with it, right? Because
you've got time and energy invested in that, and you've been following the player for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's at this juncture you can make an argument for both of them, an argument that they both have hair on them, right? I mean, it's there's no perfect prospect coming through this. Michael Trout was probably the last perfect prospect that we saw coming through, the minor leagues. Maybe Vlad. Everybody thought Vlad would hit with power, and he's shown that. But there's potential for all these guys to fail as well.
Well, yeah, hey, Mike Trout wasn't a top 20 draft pick, was he?
24, something like that. So but I mean, after his rookie season, when you saw the bat speed and you saw the foot speed, and he already was showing the ability, to hit. I mean, this guy looked like he had everything, right? You rarely see that, and you go in total confidence. We all had confidence about Wander Franco, and everybody thought he would hit, myself included. I was a little worried about the secondary, the speed and power, which I think I've been proven right on that. But he hasn't hit as well as I thought he would. And this is everybody thought he would hit.
Nagging injury. I think when you look at next spring, I think there's a potential for a bargain there. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, well, that's true. But if you drafted him this year and expected him to put up a 350 on base percentage, you got to be disappointed. So,
well, yeah, he's no Akil Baddoo.
I love how you put him on your list on Sunday. I thought that was awesome. Timmy, I got to go. Great stuff, everybody. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. Tim, I'll talk to you on Sunday. You got the rest of the week off.
Yeah. Be safe. I've got what? Be safe, be well. We'll talk to you on Sunday.